I walked into her gala and ended my marriage in front of everyone. Before we start, I'd love your support to reach 1,000 subscribers. It means the world. The invitation arrived on thick ivory cardstock, embossed and heavy in my hand. Her company's logo glimmered in gold, a seal of approval I'd never earned in her eyes. Annual Leadership Gala. The words felt like perfume, something you could spritz on before entering a room and be noticed. She laid it on the counter like a dare. "You'll come, right?" she asked, already scrolling on her phone. It's important. Important meant something different to her than it did to me. To her, it meant visibility, leverage, whispered names, the kind of currency I'd never cared for. To me, it meant showing up when it counted, doing work that mattered, even if it didn't sparkle. I nodded anyway. I always nodded. The night of the party, she wore a dress that announced success before she spoke. I wore my best suit, stiff in places, bought after my last promotion. She glanced at me in the mirror and smiled. A practice curve that didn't reach her eyes. "Relax," she said. "Just be yourself." The venue was a rooftop ballroom, all glass and light, a city skyline stretching beneath us. People spoke in acronyms and laughed a beat too loud. Her coworkers moved like a synchronized school of fish. Her CEO stood near the bar, silver-haired and commanding, pulling smaller conversations into orbit. She introduced me. "This is my husband." Then she paused. "He works in logistics." The word hit the table like a cough. Polite nods. Flickers of amusement. I'd grown used to it, the recalibration of a room when your job didn't glitter. I told myself it didn't matter. Love wasn't a resume. We took a tall table, wine catching the light. Deals were discussed, bonuses calculated, futures decided. I listened, asked the occasional question. She corrected me once gently, though I hadn't been wrong. I let it go. Then someone asked how we met. She laughed, bright and rehearsed, embellishing what she liked, trimming what she didn't. When she reached the present, she raised her glass. "And now I'm lucky enough to be married to a man who keeps things moving." Laughter rippled around us. Another colleague leaned in. "So what exactly do you do?" Before I could answer, she spoke. "He manages supply chains." Very practical. She tilted her head, eyes gleaming. "Someone has to keep the trucks running while the rest of us build the future." The laughter grew. The CEO smiled thinly. My chest tightened. I told myself it was a joke. But she wasn't finished. "When we started dating, I thought he'd find ambition, but some people are just comfortable staying where they are." The words landed like stones. A few guests shifted, uncomfortable, but no one stopped her. The city hummed below, indifferent. I looked at her. Not my wife, but a performer basking in applause at my expense. Something inside me, long dormant, stirred. I set my glass down. The clink cut through the noise. "I'd like to say something." Her frown formed, warning lines between her brows. "Now?" she asked, clipped. "Yes. Now." The table quieted. Heads turned. Even the CEO looked. "I work in logistics," I began. "Which means when stores don't run out of food, when hospitals receive supplies on time, when companies meet their promises, my team and I are part of the reason why. It's not glamorous. It doesn't make headlines. But it matters." Her smile froze. I didn't pause. "What matters more is respect. Tonight, in front of your colleagues, you made a joke of my career. Of me." A hush fell. Forks hovered midair. Eyes fixed. "I've supported you through late nights, relocations, missed holidays. Celebrated your wins. Carried the quiet weight of your losses. I have never once belittled you. But you," I met her eyes, "chose to belittle me." She laughed brittle. "You're overreacting." "It wasn't banter," I said softly. "It was contempt." Calm settled over me, as though the decision had been made long ago, and this was merely the moment it became visible. I can't be married to someone who sees me as a punchline. So I'm ending this tonight. Gasps. A fork clattered. The CEO straightened. She stared at me, cheeks flushing. "You're embarrassing me," she hissed. "No," I said. "I'm telling the truth." I removed my wedding ring and placed it on the table beside her glass. It's always looked small, unremarkable, like it always has. I stepped back, giving her space, giving myself air. "I wish you success," I said. "But I won't be collateral damage for it anymore." I walked away before she could speak, before the room could swallow the moment in nervous laughter. The elevator ride down felt longer than it was. My reflection in mirrored walls looked tired, but lighter, as if a weight I hadn't realized I carried had been set down. Outside, the night air was cool, the city alive in a way that felt suddenly welcoming. I didn't know where I'd sleep, what the next weeks would hold, only that I had chosen myself. Finally, the rooftop lights faded behind me. I didn't look back.